let's begin. Here we have prepositions. These are the most common prepositions in English. Do you know them? Of,
Yes.
in, to, for, with, on, at, from, by, about. At can be a connector, not only a preposition. Into is a preposition of movement. When you go inside a place or something, okay, you go inside, it's into, okay, it's a preposition of movement. Like, through, like, for example, when you give examples, so you compare, not as a verb. Through, after, over, between, out, against, during, without, before. Well, before and after are prepositions, of course. Under, around, and among. So here we have the most common prepositions. Remember, after prepositions, we have to use the verb in ing, right? Except for to in most of the cases. Sometimes, even when we use the preposition to, we have to write it in ing in some cases, just some cases. Good. Any questions about these prepositions? We are going to talk about some of them and the difference between on, in, and at. Okay?
Okay. Sorry, sorry, I don't know. My microphone is okay there
Yes,
because it
I can
wasn't.
hear you. I can
Okay,
hear you
thanks.
well. Great. Well, let's talk about as, because sometimes we confuse as with like. So you can use it to compare things that are of similar proportion. For example, as, adjective as. We use this preposition, for example, he drove as fast as he can. He can eat as much as you want. She's as tall as her brother. We use this expression, this is a comparative expression, use as, adjective as, to compare things that are in a similar level. Okay? Then we have he's a good a cook as his wife is, for example. This is another example. In negative constructions, we can use not so as. Okay, the negative would be not so as. She's not so successful as her brother. Okay, or she's not as successful as her brother. You just add not at the sentence and that's it. Add not to make it the negative, okay? That's it. We use, of course, as with a noun to refer to the role or purpose of a person or a thing. Remember, with occupations, jobs, we use the preposition as. I worked as a waiter when I was a student, okay? We use as when one event happens while another is in progress. In this case, the verb after is following in the continuous form. In this case, as means when, okay, or while. They arrived when we were leaving or while we were leaving. Here we have this meaning of the preposition as is another meaning. And then, of course, we talk about this is the most common use of as is to talk about identical things. Your jacket is the same color as mine, right? It's the most common use of this preposition. Of course, as is as well a connector of course. Remember, that's something we talked about a few classes ago when we talked about connectors. Well, here you can say to introduce two events happening at the same time. After us, with this meaning, we usually use present simple rather than continuous form of the verb. As the show increases in popularity, more and more tickets are sold daily. Okay, so you introduce two events that maybe they are a cause and effect, right? As the show increases in popularity, more and more tickets are sold. In Spanish, we would say mientras, right? In this case, but for this particular situation, you only use as. For example, as you get older, moving house gets harder. You don't use while or okay. You can use when, but it's more common to use as instead of when, but don't use while. Okay, while we use it when we talk about this here, another action in progress. You can use while during the time, right? And here you have to use the present simple for this use of the preposition. How not to use it? Okay, we don't use as alone to introduce example. We say such as or like, okay? These are expressions that we talked about to express examples. They gave them gifts such as flowers and fruit and sang a special welcome song. Good. So these are the most common uses of as. Remember to compare things that are in a similar level to things that are identical, okay? A synonym of when or while here in the continuous form, okay? And of course, the easiest part is the role or purpose. Remember, with jobs and roles, we use as, of course, when we talk about a role. So, well, now we can continue with by. Well, we can use the meaning by not later than to refer to arrangements and deadlines. They said that the plumber would be here by Monday. Okay? The postman is always here by 11 a.m. So, not later than Monday. Not later than 11 a.m. Okay? So, that is the maximum time. I mean, you can use the word by. Of course, when we talk about the passive voice, when we focus on the action, the person who performed the action will be, you have to use the preposition by in that case. To describe how to do something, by pressing this button, you turn on the alarm. Then, by entering the code, you can turn it off again. You can learn a lot of English by watching shows, okay? For example, you can use by to explain how you can do something. We use by plus noun to describe how someone travels. Again, the transport. How did you come to work? Or how do you go to work frequently? I usually go to work by car, by bus, by train. And then with the method would be, can I pay by credit card? Remember, with cash is in cash. Good. And of course, it's a synonym of next to or beside, the prepositions next to or beside. There's a lovely cafe by the river. We could go there. Okay. For measurements, 3 meters by 2 meters, for example. You use the preposition by in that case. For versus, yes, here for increasing and decreasing amounts, right? The prices of fuel, well, the price of fuel has increased by and that's it. Good. Next we have well, that is the using of by and as. Okay. Any
Okay,
questions?
Miss.
Great. Here we have the prepositions above and over. Okay. Well, this is easy. So here we have above and over can be used to describe a position higher than something. You can see here that there is some distance, right, between the ball and the box. Right here you have some distance. On the other hand, when it's on the surface touching the surface, in that case you use the preposition on, right, not above. Then we have below, and of course over can also mean a preposition of movement from one side to the other side. Okay, for example, they jumped over the stream, right? This would be over the fence, for example. Okay, that would be another use of over, can be a preposition of movement. Then we have below. Okay, the difference with under is that below is with distance. On the other hand, under it's more close to, the things are more close to each other, you could say. Okay, that's the
Yes,
difference.
Miss.
Great. Well, over you can use it with numbers, ages, money, and time to mean that it's more than. Okay, he is over 50. It costs over 100 pounds. He waited over 2 hours. Great. Here, where there is some distance, no touching, we use above. For example, the balloon is above the table. And here we have over. In this case, you can use it as well or as a preposition of movement. Over here means to cover, right? And here over is a preposition of movement. Great, and this is vocabulary we talked about. Good. Any questions about this? There is another preposition of movement besides into and over, right? We talked about prepositions of movement. We talked about into, will be inside, go inside a place, a building or a room, for example. And we talked about over, to jump, will be from one side to the other. It doesn't matter what in the middle is something irrelevant. So that will be over. Then we have the preposition onto. So we said that in means inside, and on means when it's touching the surface, right? For example, my cell phone is on the desk. So in any case, we use onto as a preposition of movement when it is placed on the floor or on the wall and there is movement. Okay, that would be, for example, the petrol was pouring onto the street. So in this case, there is movement, okay? And because it's a street, we use the preposition on, not into, okay? Onto the street, right? Let me show you something that can help you. Give me just a minute to see the difference between in and on as prepositions of place, because I don't know if it's clear the difference between the prepositions in and on in this case. In means inside, so I go into a room, I come into a place, a house. On, we use it when it's placed on the desk, on the floor, on the wall, okay, on the street. In that case, when there is movement, for example, the street, we use onto in that case, okay, or not?
Yes, Miss.
Great. So, for example, let me show you. This is from, let's see, where is it? Where is it? Great. Prepositions of place. So just to practice with really beginner vocabulary, the prepositions, so it's easier. So here we have, can you see the difference between above and on? For example, here, how can you say, how can you tell the picture here?
The bird is on the box.
Very good. The bird is on the box, right? And here the bird is above, right? The box.
Yeah.
Exactly. But here, as you can see, it's inside, okay? Inside. Instead of on. Is it clear? This is on, this is inside.
Yes, Miss.
Right. Here we have, of course, in, we use it for countries, cities, towns, but there are some exceptions. These are the exceptions, okay? On a beach, on an island. The pronunciation is, this is island, the S is silent, okay? Island. Good. The cell phone is on the table, for example, here, as you can see, and the opposite of, for example, here, the cat is in the box. The opposite will be out of the box. You can also say from this perspective that the cat is close to or next to the box. Great. Then we have the preposition at. So when you are around the place, not really in the place, you can use at. But if you are inside the place, for example, here the class was about places in the city. So for example, here, when you are inside, you can use either at or in, okay? But if you're around this place, you need to say at. Yes, that would be the idea. Here we have more examples with under. So here this is under, for example, under the bed, under the table. But sorry, it's frozen. There. But this is below. For example, these are from different perspectives. The table is below the clock, below the cat. And remember, above is the opposite of below, right? This is the same from different perspectives. The clock is above the table, the cat is above the dog. Okay, as you can see, there is distance, no touching. Instead of here, it's more common to say this under the table, under the bed, under the desk, under my bag, under the pillow, I don't know, different things that are touching or they are really close to each other to say under. Okay, good. Perfect. Then we have near, of course, or close to. The opposite is far from. Right? The motorbike is far from the house. The lion is far from the tree. Here we have more examples. You can read one each. Okay, one student can read behind, another in front of, and so on. So, who wants to start? Great.
Give me a minute, I turn off the phone.
Okay.
But there is a noise, I don't know what it is. The dogs are behind the postman.
Very good. Here we can hear this. The dog, the blue dog.
The blue dog is above the fire hydrant. And the blue dog is over the fire hydrant.
Very good. This. Here's the dog.
The dog is on the table. The woman has dog saliva on her.
Excellent. And as you can see, when it's placed, we use on. For example, when it's touching your body, we use on, not in, because in means inside your body, so it will be in your blood, in your organs. For example, I have something in my face, like your face would be like, right? On your skin, it's on, okay? It's placed on your skin. Always, it's on, okay? Another common use of on is with their social medias. So when we say, when we want to talk about the social media that we use, we say on. We don't say I have TikTok. We say I'm on TikTok or I'm on Instagram. I was on a website yesterday searching for, I don't know, a lower price, anything. So in that case, we use on as well. On YouTube, right? I was watching a video on YouTube, not in YouTube, okay? On YouTube, okay?
Okay, Miss.
So that would be on. Excellent. Great. And we're going to talk about another Papa teaching video, talking about prepositions. He's great explaining them with really illustrative images. Good. Then we keep going. We keep going. Great. Now let's talk about go through. So go through, this go through means when you go, this is a preposition of movement. It's not only side, you go from one side to another as well, but you don't have to jump. You just have to walk across that. But there is something like I don't know, a roof, or there are really it's a really small place. For example, a tunnel, right, will be going through a tunnel. Okay, so when it's really small and you have to go from one side to the other, you say go through. I remember when we talked about the airport vocabulary, we said when you go through security. Why? Because you have to go through the metal detector. Remember? In that case, we use through. Okay, it's a preposition of movement. Any questions about that? We are talking about prepositions of place right now. We are going to talk about prepositions of time in a minute, but these are prepositions of place.
Okay, Miss.
And preposition of movement that also mean prepositions of place. Great, excellent. Good. So, for example, when you are driving, you go through tunnels, right? Or not? Do you drive?
I don't.
Fabri, do you ride? I was going to say right. Sorry. Do you
Yes,
drive?
I ride my bicycle.
Okay, so you go through a lot of tunnels. Do you go through forest? Maybe through forest.
No, but not because here in the city I move around cars.
Okay, you get around. I understand
Yes.
it, on the street. Great. So you move there. You get around there. Excellent. Well, maybe sometime a tunnel I will be go through. Right. Excellent.
No, there are no tunnels here. Well,
Bridges.
what about bridge?
Bridge. Yes. Yes.
It's over. Yes.
Go through. Yes. Yes.
Go through
Yes,
the
of
bridge.
course. Excellent. Yes. Yes. Excellent. If it's not movement and you are
But
under the bridge, yes.
yes, the thing is when you drive a car and you need to pass by the the bridge. How how do we say estoy pasando el puente?
You are passing through the bridge. That would be you are passing through.
Okay.
Or you are going through. Okay. When you are not moving, you are under the bridge, right? That would be. Uh, but when you are passing through the tunnel or the bridge, that you can say pass or go through. That would be movement, not static. With static, it's under, right? If it's or outside, I don't know. Okay, good, excellent, great. Now, well, if we don't have any questions about the prepositions of place, let's talk about something really important that are prepositions of place. Okay, so I'm going to show you something here very important. Here we have in, on, at. So we use it either for location, prepositions of place, or time, prepositions of time. We already talked about in, we use it for countries, cities, towns, or neighborhoods. Great. On for streets or the corners, avenues, motorways, anything that it's okay, pavement or the path as well. Then we have a more specific. It would be address or specific location, for example, the store. Let's see. So as we can see In is the most general word. It will be like bigger, more, it will be longer periods of time or a bigger place, right? When we talk about prepositional place, will be bigger. And then we have like on for in the middle, like it's not as big as in, right? As general as in, but it will be in the middle because it's not as specific as at. So we have it here. It will be like here the streets or the corner. At is even more specific, so we use it with addresses or for example, when you are at a store. I don't know if this is helpful, but I think this is the best way to remember, maybe.
Yes, this is my weakness side. I don't know
This
how
is
to
your
say.
weakness.
Yeah, this is my weakness. Yes. So it's
So,
better for me if it is like this, easier.
yes, I'm glad, because remember, in is more general, on it's a
Mhm.
little bit more specific, and then very specific will be at. And this happens as well with time. Okay, let's see. We have time for centuries, decades, years, months. Remember, months go with capital letters, please. And weeks. Let's see some examples. This is with the 1800s, but let's talk about something maybe we can say I really loved the the pop, maybe pop music. I really loved pop music in the 80s, for example. That will be from 1918 will be to 1899. Sorry, 1989. Okay, that will be a whole decade, for example, in the 80s. Or for years will be I was born in 2000 and blah blah blah, or I was born in 19, I don't know. So you say a number, or maybe another specific event. I don't know. You use for years in the World Cup. The last World Cup was in 2000 or 2020. I don't remember. Do you remember? I honestly don't. Sorry.
Sorry, I was mute.
Oh, you were mute.
Um,
It was 2014,
18.
2018. That was the last one.
Yes, this year is the next one.
Great. So the last one was in 2018. Good. In. Okay? We use in in that case. For months, my birthday is in July or in May. My birthday is in February. Okay? I have a test in 3 weeks. Okay? In. For centuries, decades, there were no cars in the 1800s or in the 1700s. Decades, years, months, and weeks, we use in. Now let's go a little bit further. We will use a little bit deeper with more specific events. In. We use in for days. Okay, days. I don't know why there is here dates, because dates are not correct. Dates are with oh yes, on. Sorry, on. I was talking about in. I don't know what happened.
No, I think the weekend is
At. Okay, there is a difference, yes. British English is at, but American English is on. Be careful with that, because if you are going to take a test in a British institute, I'm not going to mention any institute in specific, if you write on the weekend, they are going to give you a less grade, okay?
So in England English, I have to say
British English.
in the British, sorry,
At.
at the weekend,
Yes, not. In the
but
weekend, never. No.
never
That is
at
a
the
mistake.
weekend.
At
But
the
if
weekend.
I'm in USA, I say on the weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
And they will understand you. If this is, I mean, if you're going to talk to people on the street, they are going to understand even if you use a wrong preposition. I mean, it doesn't matter actually.
Yeah.
And the important thing is to know the words to communicate, like the verbs, the subjects, the
Yeah.
conjugations. That is the important part, not really the prepositions. But here we are in an intermediate level, so we want to be more specific.
Yeah.
Then we have on. On we use it for specific days, always. For example, a date, May the 7th. Remember, dates go with ordinal numbers. This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 21st, 22nd, and you use the last letters of the ordinal number when you write the number here, the th in this case. But remember, if you have, because this is a very common mistake, if you have 21st, it's not 21th, okay, it's 21st. 21st, this is the number. 22nd, okay. So these are the dates. Ordinal numbers in general for sequence, anything, for floors of a building, right? I live on the third floor, for example. Good. So for specific days, for example, my birthday, on my birthday, because it's a specific day. At my birthday will be the party, right? The place with the party. On Christmas Day, right? We have to add Christmas in that case. Great. And of course, days of the week. On Friday, on Monday. See you on. Remember, the most common one is see you on Friday or see you on Monday. So that will be on. Okay, on. Always on. And then even more specific will be, no, it's not hours, guys, please. I don't know who wrote this, but please never say hours in English to talk about the time. Okay, we are talking about the time. Hours will be more specific, like I see you in an hour. Yes, to count them. But when we are talking about this is the time. Okay. Be careful with that. It's not the hour, it's the time. Okay, the time we use the preposition at. For example, I have a meeting at half past 8 a.m. I don't know. This is an example only. Good. So that will be that's all. You have more expressions that we are going to talk about later, but let's practice first. So let's see. Here we have an exercise with prepositions of place. Okay, you have to write by, yes, I'm sharing, as, over, through, or across. Across will be in front of. Okay, that will be good. Great. So remember, these are prepositions of movement sometimes. Good. And the house is
Across.
across the river, yes, or by the river. Good,
By,
excellent.
okay.
He's excellent
As.
as a doctor. Very good. With roles, professions, we use as. My new car is the same model
My new car is the same model
As.
as my
as
old
my
one.
old one.
Remember, with the same or identical things, we use as.
Okay. David leads over the train station.
Over, remember, over is this, like
Yeah.
above, or when there is
Across the train
across the train
station.
station or by the train station, both. Well, by the train station it's really weird. Across the train station it's more common, right? By a train station.
Yeah.
And remember, over it can be this, this,
Yeah.
or the movement to jump from one side to the other side. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Go over a fence, for example. Okay. So this is not the case.
Okay.
The book was written
Bye.
by Sarah. Excellent. The nearest house is across the lake or by the lake. Both are possible. Very good.
ABC. The student must hand the assignment by the end of this month.
By the end of this month. Very good. Okay,
We walk through the store looking for the perfect toy for his son.
we don't use
No.
we don't use through for places of city, for buildings. Go through, we use it for tunnels or more narrow things.
I can say here we walked at the store.
Walked.
Walked.
To mean walked past, walked by the store. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, this is a preposition. No, it's okay. Remember the maximum time, deadline.
At 7 p.m.
But using some of these.
Sorry.
Bye.
By is also correct. Very good. By will be not later than 7 p.m. Right? Good. So it's
Police
over
the body. Very good. I drink, he does. Where would be here?
as much as he does.
As much as he does. I will send you the report
By
email. Very good. The method we use by.
over the last few years.
Over the last few years. Very good. In this case, to explain reason or cause, we use to explain reason or cause. Remember, from linking
as
we were late. Because we were late, we hired a cab. Mark stays fit. Remember when we explained how they do something? Cycling to work. Very good.
Over the park. No. No, no,
Over would be
no, no,
here.
no,
The
no.
park is over
I know,
here.
I know, I know.
Be careful with that. When it's
You know, you want
by the park,
Or
okay?
or
We had that one by the park. Good. They had I couldn't hear the conversation through the wall.
one is across the street.
Ah, yes, you can use across from the restaurant. This is a preposition, a very common preposition that means in front of, across, from. To explain how you can do something
by reading.
by reading. Students can improve their vocabulary by reading. Excellent, very good. Perfect. Great. Great, so now let me show you, let me stop the recording. I wanted to show you more examples with prepositions of time. So you are ready. Let's see. Great, so here. Let me show you this. This is the same as we were talking about, but I had this chart my whole life. I've had this chart my whole life about time and place prepositions. Here we have, in time we use seasons, okay, months, years, decades, or the expressions in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So remember, for longer periods of time we use in. For more specific, we use on Monday, on Friday, a date, September the 1st, for example, and dates with these expressions like morning, afternoon, evening. For example, Wednesday morning. Sorry, I'm sharing? Yes, I'm sharing. Then we have specific time, we use at, and there are some expressions like at night, at weekends. At weekends would be British, remember that. At breakfast, lunch, dinner time. Well, breakfast time, the time we use at. And of course, without the word day, we use it with festivals or holidays, at Easter, for example. Inside, well, and here we have prepositions of place that we already talked about. We have these expressions on the surface and on transports as well, on a plane, on a bus. There are some exceptions, for example, in a car or in a taxi, okay? Get in the car, right? Get in the car. But then for other transports, we use on a plane, on a bus. I'm on the bus, for example. I'm getting on the bus. And remember, the opposite is get off the bus. And for the car, get in the car, get out of the car, right? Because in, the opposite is out, right? Good.
Miss, for example, if I wanna say, Miss, can you upload this on the classroom? Is okay?
Yes, you can post this on
Post this on the
Classroom.
classroom.
On Classroom.
Okay.
Very good. Yes, of course. Then we have on, as I was saying before, for any social media or any expression of phone, on TV, on the radio. Then we have for events at the party, concert. Then we have expressions like at the door, at the store, and then for specific places, like we use at. For specific location, we use at. For meeting points, we use at. I will see you at the cinema, for example. And here you have expressions that you already know. I'm at work, I'm at home, I'm at the doctor's, for example. These are expressions that you already know. Great, so here we have all these different prepositions, right? Great, these are prepositions of place and how we use them. Well, with specific examples. But these are the rules, general rules. There are some exceptions, of course. Remember, you can either say in the evening or at night, but not in the night. Okay, it's at night. As well as at noon, at midday, okay, at midnight. Don't say in the midnight or in the midday. It's at midnight, at midday, at noon. Great, excellent. Now we can practice a little bit the prepositions of time, because we already practiced prepositions of place. Let's see, here was... Great. Where is it? I think this one. Yes, I'm sharing now. Good. No, this one's not the one that I wanted to share. Okay, for example, here the lamp is, this is prepositions of plane, but well, here we have the plane is the plane. The lamp is above
the table.
Above the table. Very good. Sorry, I didn't want to share this at all. I got confused. These are prepositions of place, not of time. Just time activity. No. Well, we can practice with this and then a little bit more harder. This one is really easy. So here we have to write on, in, or at. For example, Monday will be
On Monday.
very good. Night.
At night.
Winter. In winter. February.
In February.
12:30.
At.
Morning. The morning.
In the morning.
The afternoon.
In the afternoon.
And if I say Monday morning.
Al Monday morning.
On Monday. On Monday morning. Very good. On Monday. That would be on Monday morning because it's a day. Very good. Excellent. And Friday.
On Friday.
1 a.m. At 1 a.m. Very good. For time we use at. Summer?
On summer.
No.
No, what is it? Wait me.
It's in. Remember, for
In.
longer periods of
Sorry.
time. For
Yeah.
longer periods of time we use
In.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not on. On we use it for days, dates. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. My mistake, sorry.
Don't worry. July.
On.
On.
Sorry, in.
For months we use in. Remember, for longer periods of time we use in, not on. On is for days and dates that are at as well.
Yes.
Days. Good, excellent. Great. Now let me show another one that is a little bit harder, I think. Here. This one is a little bit more difficult. Remember, in months, seasons, years, decades, centuries, expressions like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. On for days of the week, days of the month will be days. And holidays with day. And holiday without day, remember, is at. And for times are expressions like at night, at midday, at noon, etc. Good, so Cande, number 1 is?
Often. In the morning.
In the morning, very good. Fabri, next?
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Next?
On Tuesday afternoon.
On Tuesday afternoon, very good.
Tuesday afternoon.
In spring.
Spring. Noon or midday?
At noon.
At noon or at midday, very
Midday.
good. Fabri?
In February.
Great. Next?
In winter.
Very good.
In 2013.
Very good.
At my birthday.
Well, yes, at my birthday it will be the party or the play. Okay?
Oh yes, on my birthday.
On my birthday is the day, of course. With day. There is day. Day, so it's on a weekday. Great.
In the evening.
Great. Bedtime has the word time, like lunch time, the time, breakfast time, the time. At, very good. At bedtime, great. Holiday, day.
On a holiday.
On a holiday. Time.
At
At
10:30.
at 10:30. Excellent.
At midnight.
At midnight. Well, it depends. Weekend.
At the weekend.
Okay, that's British at the weekend. Monday morning.
On Monday morning.
Very good.
On May 5.
The ordinal number?
5.
5th.
5th. May the 5th. Very good. May the 5th.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
At night.
At night.
In the 90s.
Very good.
In summer.
On Wednesday.
On fall, autumn.
On?
Autumn.
On?
Sorry, in.
Remember, for longer periods of time
Yes.
we use in. Okay?
It's confusing, Miss. Prepositions are confusing.
But remember, for longer periods of time, in. Like months, seasons, these are longer. When it's just a day, we use on. And when it's just even more specific, like time, we use at. Excellent, guys. Very good. Anyway, it was very good. Perfect. Excellent. Any questions about it? Or are we okay?
No, but you can post this too.
Yes, of course, this chart. Yes, of course, this presentation is, yes, of course. Don't worry. Well, the difference between 4 and 2 as well, yes, this is from pre-intermediate, but I can post that.
Yes, I know, Miss. I know that is for pre-intermediate, but to be honest,
it's useful.
I never
You
could
never learned.
It's my fight, my inside fight with English.
Okay. So, yes, of course, I can post it as well for you. Don't worry.
Thanks, Miss.
And
Thanks.
then next class we can practice preposition, adjectives and prepositions. Remember, after prepositions we use the verb in ing if it's a verb, not a noun. Good. Excellent. Great. Now we can watch some videos, okay?